Lemurian versus Garrosh.
Victory or death! I must protect the wild.
Okay, oops, I was zoned out. I'm going to use this Ancient to kind of contest the board. Even if he hero powers, then that at least forces the hero power here. Druid of Flame isn't actually even enough to kill the Finley because it only does 2 damage. Kind of play as a 2/5. So doing like 1 damage here is okay to some degree as well. Feels like my hand is a bit heavy. It's so tempo based that I don't know if it's worth to pass the turn over playing a 2/2. Because I have 3/4. I even have like Marcus Charge 5, maybe.
Bathe in flame.
Just saving the Innervate. I play Karen next turn. I can Savage Combatant, Innervate Hero Power. This is 5, so it doesn't really die to Fire War Axe. I guess if he Fire War Axe, Hero Power trades, but then I still rather save for Karen. That's a lot of resources commit to kill a 3-drop. From hero powering this and then playing Druid of Flame, it doesn't stop him, like it doesn't force his hero power. Not that it really forces it, but he has some incentive to do it over some other moves.
My blade be thirsty.
Just gonna have an execute here. It's gonna be scary, but Karen at least can trade next turn potentially. It's gonna be hard for him to kill both halves of Karen. Early Karen is so good against tempo decks, but I think this is actually Patron if he's running Finley. Tempo War doesn't run Finley generally. Finley's basically to transform the hero power to like Mage one for Patron decks. I don't know, it's not 100%, but I think this is Patron. So I still lose to like, you know, big Patron Storm unless I have enough of a board before then. Thing is, like, he hasn't drawn, right? So if his whole 10 is like Patron activators and stuff, then I'm presumably I take over the board turn 4 to 6, and then I can potentially clear 4 patrons. I need to clear 3 patrons, because one of the patrons is 1 health. Otherwise, if his hand's like tempo, it's gonna be hard for him to have the patron stuff. I think it's patron. Pyromancer, people generally run in patron. So if we had 1 more mana, it'd be really good. Swipe trade, we leave a 1 health guy. I just think that we want to cash in our Karen trading value as soon as possible. Get this guy down. The main problem is any 1 spell he can trade Pyromancer into my 5/4. I have 2 of them.
What to do? Time waits for no one.
I think I'm actually too weak leaving out the Pyro. Just as Pyro, like say it's Slam, I trade in Karen, he slams, Karen becomes a 4/2, trades in Savage Combatant plus like weapon or something. And next turn I can Savage Combatant hero power stuff, so I'm not that weak reactively. If he just doesn't play a minion, I'm gonna Mark of Discharge it. I could have played this as a 3/2. The main thing is I feel like I'm too weak to whirlwind effects, especially if you pass a turn. It's like expecting to whirlwind patrons. If I can save this guy, because he attacks this as a 1, this all dies to whirlwind. I guess this one comes back, but I mean, Drew Saber I can play as Charger as well, and if I save my Savage Combatant, even against patrons, I can charge 1 Saber into something, and if this rather than kill another patron like that, hero power another one down. That'll let me clear the board. He's used 1 execute, so hard for him to have second one right now a little bit. Taurens aren't beasts. That's racist. It's 15, right? I'm assuming his deck has not that many ways to heal. So yeah, there's no way I'm trading for Acolyte anymore. I don't even think I taunt this guy. And save him for Charger next turn. I mean, I might get more damage with a 3-2. I'm only getting 1 this turn and get my damage back if he survives. Maybe something like double Whirlwind would clear. I only have 5 in my hand. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the Savage Combatant, Saber, Hero Power. So if he has a way... No, I don't think so. He's dead. You need to clear without attacking with a weapon.
Well played.
Another night on the prowl.
Malfurion versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine.
I'm not sure. This seems more likely Zoo. Usually, my reads now are like, if someone's pretty high rated, like in Legend, almost certainly Handlock, but a little lower rated is more likely Zoo. Because I don't think you can hit high Legend with Zoo. I don't think it's that great of a deck right now. But Zoo is the scary matchup for us. Let's see. I think we have to go mulligan everything. We can't keep Markeeper with no coin.
Get it out! Get it out!
Another night on the prowl.
Stop yelling!
5-4 attack. Then we have 5-2 against these. We basically want to... I mean, even though he's going to maybe farm our guy, needs abusive, and yeah, it's fine. Just going to play the Druid of Flame here. Has 5 health, and set up for a swipe next turn. I mean, abusive dies a swipe too, so...
Get in there and fight, maggot.
This has to be a swipe turn. I feel like I have to swipe the Direwolf. If I swipe this, trade, yeah, there's no point. Probably have to trade here. Actually, since I have Market of Charge, I was thinking trade for the 1-1, trade for the other 1-1, but if I have Market of Charge, yeah, still trade. Hopefully to trade for 2 minions with this guy. Well, it'll almost certainly trade with 2 minions. Unless it gets juggled. Maybe with Sea Giant being a thing, I need to trade it. It's like -2 minions on board. I'm gonna save this combo together, turn 6. So even if he, say, trades in with his Imp Gang on my 5-5, I can swipe Hero Power the Councilman, I think, and then set for turn 7, drew the Claw Mark. That's hoping he doesn't have another set of buffs for his Imp Gang to trade in.
You love my new recipe.
I'm okay with that.
Why do you call?
I can't prioritize the Market of Charge that much. That's my last swipe too. I feel, because my swipe Hero Power isn't that great there. I still have a 2-1 and a 1-1, Mousewiz, thanks for resubbing. Welcome back to the Strife crew. Do we even have any good moves here? I think we start by cycling.
Another night on the prowl.
All the while.
My shield for Argus.
One mana off for the super one, but we can't wait a turn. So we're gonna have to Wrath swipe. Well, actually, wait. We can Wrath here, Hero Power, Wrath this. Swipe Hero Power, Wrath that. That clears the board. We can also play Drake, Wrath. Drake has Taunt, but I don't get to clear the board. Like, Drake basically has taunt because if he doesn't, then he's leaving up the spell power swipe for the game over next turn, unless he actually just kills me this turn. So I think it's pretty good. It's like this kind of similar move, except I get to recycle more resources. I mean, I don't clear the board so he can use buff cards and so he could things like Sea Giant, Gormok, but yeah. Oh my god, he's going face. No!
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Wow, I could have Druid Flame. I don't know if that would set me up for lethal. At least so much damage. Got 13 instead of 12. I don't know if I could have made that move. But I probably win 100% the other way too. If I don't die, so... I guess it depends. Let me think about it. Because if I don't set for lethal, let's see. I lose 3 damage, 4 damage. Let's say 3 if you count the hero power. Then my board is weaker. 18 life. I have 6 power on board. 12, 13. So I don't have lethal with the Saboteur this way. And I give him another turn. But the thing is, he doesn't get damage in the next turn either. Without a board. So it makes sense. If you can see that number mattering. So Mirekeeper Wallet does generate mana. The problem with Mirekeeper is it doesn't remove stuff. I can Wrath plus Saber, that forces the clear. I think this situation, I care less about the ramp and more about setting everything up correctly. So... because all that does tank the weapon, leaves his board up for 3 damage, just clears both his minions, even though I'm not getting the mana. Taking a lot of damage. I don't get... this is the trade I want. Drake is a good draw because it effectively has taunt. Probably might get ignored, but kind of gets punished for ignoring it. Otherwise, I don't think I can get through in that trade. Not unless I do some really bad move, like Wrath Hero Power trade in. That's a good top deck. Allows me to Drake Living Roots. I still don't get this trade. Otherwise, I can Wrath this 4 mana. There's no 4 mana that gives me a good trade either. Markkeeper for 2 minions. No Savagery yet. I think I'd rather develop a Drake here. We need... We don't have a second Living Roots, huh? We need to kill him very quickly. We need top deck Savage Roars and Living Roots. So there's no Living Roots. I guess we need a top deck like Savage Roars and Marquis Charges would be good. Or just spam the board next turn. Expecting to die like turn 8. Oh, he traded. Does not absolutely have to cash in this guy. Just could never get the trade in on the monkey.
The land serves me.
Blood and plunder.
Trust the pirate's code.
Mind if I roll need?
Through this, I don't think we have lethal. We had potential lethal with some top decks.
For the wild. Where shall I be?
Another night on the prowl.
For the wild.
It's coming down to fate. He needs 1 damage. Probably dead. 8, 9 needs 1 damage. 2 cards. At least it's not a weapon. Can't kill me with the weapon. Nope. I actually, taking some suggestions for a sec. I tried Raptor in this deck. It was not good. I took out like 1 Forbidden Age for Raptor. The Raptor was like a big failure in this deck.
The light shall bring victory. I must protect the wild.
This is a good curve. I curve out in 5 on 6 though. I only 6 is Cairn. Like, if I can curve out into Drake, and Drake is so good against Priests, I should just keep the Drake. I might even make it 2-2 at Markkeeper. I really doubt it. Part of this deck is the flexibility of mana, even though it looks weird where the deck looks like it's a small mana curve. It cycles really smooth through the deck. What's a 2-2 worth? Nothing. Not that much, at least. Just need to be careful of this not getting Caballed. That'd be a game-losing play if that happens.
Injured?
Oh, he has Circle. Okay, that's scary. Blade Master Circle with the Cleric for the cycle. We can't really rely on Forbidden Ancient being 6/6 here. Oh, that's why this game is gonna be hard, because my 4/4s die so poorly to the Blade Master. Forbidden Ancient here is a huge yellow play. Well, I have to do it. I mean, Forbidden Ancient, while it's a yellow play, it's a play that has a chance of doing something, whereas Drake is just gonna get eaten.
Feel my wrath.
Well, if the Drake gets eaten, this trade's here too. Then I don't like it. Nice and weird deck. Probably rather kill Twilight Drake. The other guy has more. This guy heals 7, but there's no way I consider that over the other thing. Okay, Fandrel's good. Turns my Druid Flame to 5/5. Anti-Cabal. I'd like to save it for later, but my other plays are not nearly as good. So weak tempo turn for him, probably with Thought Seal. It's not a bad thing for me. Now we're playing on my terms. Don't really need a taunt here, rather just cycle out, get more options.
Another night on the prowl.
Priest feels different without Valen's Chosen. I think just letting this guy go. Oh, I hope I don't get Savage Roared. Is that a thing? I don't know. Punished. A little bit. I guess there's Druid cards, which makes it more hard to play around. A little bit more flexible. I have a lot of draw in my hand. I actually feel like Druid Claw Savage Command all face. That gets cleared by Alchemy Circle, but it also clears him. Let's see, Force 6. Yeah, it clears both players unless he has Healing Touch. Actually, this is too scary to leave up.
Time waits for no one. Unleash for the wild.
This turns out pretty close between this move and just playing both minions and taunting going face. Alchemy Circle would clear my board, but still clears my board. He would still have to trade in the Drake unless his Alchemy Circle hero power and then like a Holy Light. Wow, okay, he's dead.
Where shall I strike?
That was a pretty great Sylvanas. Dropped Sylvanas in like 16 power on board, if you count the Savage Combatant as plus 2 more with it Inspire. You don't even force nature anymore.
Malfurion versus Garrosh.
Victory or death! I must protect the wild.
I really like Living Roots against Warrior. Or Draw the Flame. I'm gonna Innervate, go for like 4 out of 5 drops in ramp. Those are cards that actually have impact against Druid. I do keep Draw the Flame if I have Markio's Charge, because then it turns into 4/7 and I can split the mana up into like turn 1 and turn 2, which would be perfect, but too many whirlwind effects for the Living Roots, and a 2/5 just doesn't really put enough pressure. It doesn't one-shot his minions. Like, they're 4 attack, 3 health, 4 health, and things like Frothing and 3/4 taunts.
Unleash the beast.
The good thing is he can't Frothing here. Yeah. Ravaging Ghoul I'm pretty weak too. It's okay. Still trades and gets the... It's not good for me, but don't really have better moves. That's not like a game-losing play. Like, the big plays are when they can build up huge Frothings and trade into you. I mean, judging by his coin, he has to have another 3-drop. I just hope it's not Ghoul, it's something like Frothing or another Monkey. Acolyte of Pain. So that's Frothing. So I can't do this trade or charge. It gets too big. I can trade and swipe. Looks like I might swipe Hero Power with Innervate. That clears the board. If I swipe, this goes to 4. So I swipe this Hero Power the other guy if I do that.
For the wild.
It's actually so scary right here with no Death Spite. I noticed from playing tons of Tempo Warrior Mirror that warriors can't do 4 damage right now very easily. It's always weird things and it's not consistent. I guess one of the ways is Cork Run Charge, but that's not nearly as bad as Death Spite. And yeah, because a lot of times I play Frothing Mirrors where you get like a full health Frothing, 4/4 Frothing this turn, and then it just grows forever and kills them because I can't kill it.
What now?
Best top deck.
Geralt, you are not fit to rule the Horde. I have an axe to grind.
If I didn't get that, I would have played Forbidden over Druid the Claw. Because Druid Claw is more flexible with charge and stuff, and I have other stuff to do. Forbidden was my best non-Cairn play there. I need to decide between Forbidden and Druid Claw here still. It helps a little bit with the trading. I think he's gonna Whirlwind Bell Rage somehow anyways. In that case, I don't think it matters. And I like to save Druid the Claw.
For the wild, for honor. The are upon us.
He hasn't played any Execute, so it's not like I can spend 10 mana on this, guys. This is around as much mana I can willingly spend, especially with Nourish in my hand. I'd just much rather like spend that on Nourish and cycle through my deck. So I'll never be able to play this like for 10 mana. 5 mana is about as much. This leaves me with the best hand. Similar board. As 4/6 Tower would be a little stronger for the most part here. That's what I was thinking of a little bit, but I don't think it makes a huge difference. Basically 1 more life. Which is kind of a breakpoint. So he's executing this guy then? Okay. Or that. Because it doesn't make sense to leave up a 5/5 instead of 4/5.
Where shall I strike?
To Northrend!
No! Oh, okay.
Another night on the prowl.
For the wild.
I had the other charge me in my hand and Nourish, so I had a lot of charge damage, so I went face. I didn't expect to get Urgent Command Overtude. It's okay, this guy's not too strong. I have Spell Power Swipe, so I'm leaving him up. And just, obviously I'm stealthing now, since I'm leaving him up for the AoE.
Armor made to fit.
Back to work.
He's gonna get blown out by this swipe. He doesn't have that many cards, so it's not like I'm all in, you know. I can win the late game too. I'll have a nice tempo swing. Ooh, is he dead? So I have 4 from Swipe, 4 from Savage Roar, 4 from Hero Power. 4 times 3 is 12 is 13 and 1 off. Is that math right? I think it's right. You can swipe Blast. You don't have to give them armor with Swipe.
Armor.
If they ever go below 0, they die. It doesn't matter if they get armor after. 7 plus 7, 14. Just in
Another night
case.
on the prowl.